you, Lisa. Good morning, welcome everyone. I am Councillor Chris Atwell, Cabinet Member for Communities and Central Services. This meeting is being webcast to allow the public to attend remotely if they so wish. A little housekeeping: if the continuous fire alarm sounds, please evacuate the room and public gallery by the stairwells. Do not attempt to use the lifts. Please assemble at Queen Victoria's statue in Guildhall Square. In order to comply with the Guildhall Trust fire marshal regulations, anyone who signed in at the Guildhall reception desk should sign out when leaving the building at the end of today's meeting. May I draw everyone's attention to the fact that this meeting will be live streamed and everyone speaking will be on camera. People are permitted to record the meeting on the understanding that it neither disrupts the meeting or records anyone saying they do not wish to be recorded. Please can everyone use the microphones and remember to switch them off when you have finished. Shall we do some introductions? Members?
Shah, Labour Councillor in Cushion.
Thank you, Shah.
Councillor Lee Mason, Conservative Spokesman, Councillor for Cosham.
Thank you, Lee.
Councillor George, Manager of the Paulsgrove Ward.
Thank you, George. And officers?
Lisa Gallagher from Democratic Services.
Thank you, Lisa. Lydia, can I come to you last? For a very special reason. Not for me.
Lee Todd, Head of Marketing, Communications and Engagement.
Thank you, Lee. And
Lydia Meller, Events Manager.
And Lydia is here today, and thank you, Lydia, for your time this morning. Just to give colleagues and anybody listening and watching a quick update on where we are with coronation planning, or planning for the coronation weekend here in Portsmouth. So if you don't mind just giving us a quick update. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. So the deadline for the coronation street parties has now passed. We had 81 applications spread across the city, which is fantastic. Going on the numbers of residents that the organisers had put on their applications, we're looking at just over 8,500 residents taking part across the city, which is fantastic. They are spread across the 3 days. So as you're aware, I think officially the day for street parties is on the Saturday, but obviously if we did that in the city, we would grind the city to a halt. So we offered all 3 days to residents, and the majority are on Saturday or Sunday. There's a few on the Monday, and they are going to be looked at by the SAG later today, and then we'll be able to get back to all the organisers, certainly in the next couple of weeks, either with further queries or to confirm they can go ahead. So that's really positive. The Eden Project have added us as a Platinum Council to their sort of list of 70 councils. That essentially being a Platinum Council means that we are being as accessible as possible for local residents to be able to organise their own street party, removing as much red tape as we can. The Eden Project will be the providers of the insurance to cover the costs for local, to provide the insurance. The council are covering the cost of that provision. And COLAS is supporting with the closure of the road. So that means to logistically, safely put on a street party, there are no costs to local residents. And obviously the only cost will be what entertainment or whatever provision they decide to incorporate themselves. So that's really good. There will be an article in the Local Government Association's First magazine, which will focus on the street parties and will incorporate the Platinum councils and how those councils have kind of made street parties as easy as possible to organise. The Eden Project are also organising a community thank you, which we will be promoting this week to street party organisers. So essentially, they can nominate their own community as, kind of a beacon, I suppose, as to what they're doing. And they will go into a competition where they could win up to £2,500 for them to spend as part of their street party, which is fantastic. And there's also 3 runners-up prizes of £1,000, and I think they get hampers as well with food for their party. So we'll be promoting that to all the organisers, and they can. The idea is that they kind of nominate each other, which is really a really lovely community thing. I think that's the update from the street parties.
Thank you, Lydia. I'm grateful for your time this morning. I just thought it would be useful for people to know that I think, again, we're going to have a really good weekend here in Portsmouth. Last year at the Jubilee, we had over 100 street parties, and we're not far off that again this time. So people clearly want to come together, and I'm pleased that our pursuit of removing the barriers has been recognised around the place. An update from me. I had a meeting earlier this week with the Cabinet Member for Traffic and Transportation and relevant officers, and discussions are being had with the bus operators to be able to provide free bus travel on the Sunday of the coronation weekend, if not all 3 days of the coronation weekend, to enable people, again, to remove barriers, to enable people to get around and celebrate in a way that they choose, and to be able to get to the big lunch, in particular on the Sunday in the city centre. So thank you, Lydia. Thank you for your time. I thought it was useful for us to have that update today. Okay, I shall proceed. Lydia, you're free to stay. You can please stay if you want to, but I suspect you have other things to be doing. So we'll carry on with the agenda. Lisa, no apologies for absence. Members, any declarations of interests? No? Okay. So we'll get to today's substantive business. Welcome, Lee, who's going to give us some feedback around the Equalities Initiatives and Funding Information Report. Over to you.
So this is an update requested on spending of and allocation of £100,000 of equalities funding that was taken at decision meeting here in September. The allocation split it out across a number of different initiatives, so Portsmouth Pride, Live Well Community Outreach, Youth Voice Project, Community Research and Participation Initiatives, which has largely been about developing our equality strategy, Violence Against Women and Girls Toolkit, and a Community Inclusion Grant Scheme. The report details what's been achieved there. I think what's in there probably speaks for itself. There's not a lot for me to add to that, but I'm happy to take any questions with the caveat that obviously not directly delivered all of these personally, so the information I have is largely in the report, but happy to try and help as best I can or take questions away.
Thank you, Lee. Members, any questions or comments on the report? Really? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, look, good report. Thank you for the report. I think we've made the money go a long way, actually. And I've certainly been out visiting the community inclusion grant projects over the last couple of months and seeing how people have been using their grants. And yeah, there's been lots of activity going on around the city, and I think it's been a really good piece of work around how we've used that pot of money. So thank you for bringing the report and the update. Unless there is anything else people want to say, contribute to this morning? This is a very short meeting. I think that concludes today's business, and I shall close the meeting at 10:10. Thank you.